back to the RS001 Group B Audi Quattro build. We've had Stuart from Imeco round in the previous time, and we're going to cover our little conversation of what he left with us and his lovely products. So how long does it actually take to do the whole process?
Quite a few hours, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Because you can have the idea of some companies where they just sort of slap things together. We'll start with that, making sure the bends are correct to like CLRs and things like that. So there's the first processing side where we're pretty much reverse engineering it with, sounds simple, like just verniers and measuring gauges, and because there's not like CAD of it, you can't just like grab all the information from there. So reverse engineering all the bends, and then we're making sort of codes, etc. for what they will be related to the tube size and the CLR and then the offset for the matting. Just trying to make sure that actually everything's going to fit really nice when it's being fabricated for the guys, so that almost like the process on the start of it, if we get that bit done right, you end up with something quite nice and shiny.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks the part.
Photos don't do it justice to that.
449.
No, exactly. We try and make it look. I mean, one, you've got the performance of it, which is obviously the main reason why you're doing it. And also it's got to look really cool, because that looks cool. So you don't want to look at an engine bay and go, oh, this looks crap. Yeah, I mean, like I said, reverse engineering all the bends. We're cutting the foils out, then cutting the matting patterns out, and then it's all spot welded. So something like the manifold, 20 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's for like a fabricator. It's like the task list for the week is just like that manifold. And that's all they'll do, and then making sure we're getting all in here and everything's completely sealed, so like the matting's not going to come out over time. It's a stainless steel dimple foil, and because it's so thin we can just make like 3D printed press tools.
Beautiful.
So we're pretty much set up on CAD that you type in all the parameters and then you get your tool, and then that gets 3D printed overnight, come back, it's probably failed, and then print again.
Because 3D printing is not fast, is it?
No,
you can.
Yeah, I mean they're like sort of 16-hour prints.
Well, I suppose it's economical, isn't it? Because you're not going to use the tools again anyway. So.
And that's the thing. I mean, a lot of this time, like tubes like this, they're all the CLRs are, they're even like they're saying not 1D or 1.5 times D. Some of them they all seem to correlate normally. So sometimes we have the tool, which is great.
Yeah.
And like for the sort of collector, then it's making sure you've got sort of an end piece there and all the cuts for each individual tube, so it just fits.
Perfect.
Completely correctly. So it's all one piece off the collector, and then it comes on and then just sort of seam down one side.
So what sort of temperature drop would you get across from, say, the inside of the pipe to the outside of the pipe, with and without?
That's the big question,
massive,
isn't it? Yeah. So we support a lot of the touring cars, and they've got ample amounts of access to data, like within the engine bay and stuff like that. So we've been recorded sort of 75, even up to 85% surface temp reduction from it, which is that's just using this 6mm matting. Because in motorsport you don't really have the luxury of space.
Of course,
So we tend to use just a fine
small matting.
Small matting. And so sort of 75% would be the average surface temp drop. And then for like turbo applications is where this kind of thing is really good for, because you're keeping the heat in for the turbo, which is helping you spool it quicker. So we've actually seen EGTs, you know, we did a clamshell for a manifold for one of the touring cars, and they had back-to-back days of a car with and without the clamshell. And then with it was 80 degrees higher EGTs. So that shows how much the heat is staying in. And then the efficiency of the engine is just running so much better. And then they actually had, I mean, it sounds like a small number, but they were fighting for 0.1 degree. They actually then, by adding this, we dropped their charge temps by 1.5 degree.
There you go,
So like now their performance is getting better because the intake temps is just way down, and the engine's running at a much better, you know, kind of where it wants to be running. And then we also had some data, even like electrical components. So I mean, to sort of like, you know, go on to them just because they've got all the sensors on. I know all the data for those cars, which, you know, is relevant for your kind of projects.
Yeah, definitely. It's all the same, isn't it?
Yeah. So like they actually had, we had a downpipe which ran. It was by the bulkhead, so you know, it'd be the other way around for this. Now they do the hybrid system. The hybrid ran the passenger footwell, and then the cars without downpipe installation had I think the hybrid system was like 20 degrees hotter. So now you're just cooking all the ECU and things like that. So then you've got, you know, durability of components. It's just massively heightened by just having good thermal management.
100%. And to be honest, I've run like ceramic coating on previous cars and stuff like that. And ceramic coating is good in its own regard. But honestly, once you use it for 6 months, it looks like crap, doesn't it? It just doesn't last, it rubs off, it like changes colour. And I even had it where one of my customers, he wanted a red ceramic coating on his thing. And of course, we told him that it's going to turn pink, which it does, because it's just a dye, isn't it? And of course, the first time we went and tuned the car, we come back and then he lifted the bonnet and he was so pissed off. It turned pink.
Pink exhaust.
So, you know, for me, this will stand the test of time, won't it? You know,
exactly.
You could have a look at this in, you know, another sort of like 5 years' time after use, and then
it's probably got like a cool
you
golden colour. It will, you know, colour slightly from the heat. It's not going to go pink.
That's
you know,
right.
It's going to colour like a bit of a golden, sort of as stainless does with heat. But then, it's not going to be dirty or like flaking off or anything like that. You know, we've had parts on cars like this for sort of multiple years, and they're still performing as good as new and looking cool still, which is always the nice side of it.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for dropping the bits around. We'll get them on the car and go from there. So if you want any cool bits, here we go. They'll make your hot bits cool.
So happy from the parts from Stuart and the guys at Imeco. They've done a great job. And next time, we're going to start to cover the front suspension assembly to be put onto the car. And we've got all the steering rack to go on it as well. And there's a couple of like odd, difficult jobs that we need to get done with the hydraulic fittings and stuff for the steering rack as well. So we're going to go through that and let the build continue, really. There's so many jobs. It almost gets a bit daunting when you know, start. I'm not even at a list stage. You can't even start a list at the moment, because you look through and this has got to be done. This has got to be done. And it can sometimes blow your mind sometimes. So, but to be honest, you can't look at it like that. You just got to, it's got to be done. Somebody's got to do it. And we're the only ones here. And so we just got to do it. So that's what we're going to do. Just hit things one by one, go through, fit the steering rack. If stuff doesn't fit, you've got to modify it, go through. It's just a process. So we'll do it one by one, and then we'll, you know, carry on. But I hope you like the video, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And If not, we'll see you soon.